Massage is a great way to stimulate your vagus nerve for stress and anxiety relief. So today I'm going to show you a simple vagus nerve massage technique that you can do anytime you're feeling stressed to calm your nervous system quickly. Hey beautiful humans, I'm Sukie Baxter, founder of Whole Body Revolution, where I help you to rewire yourself for greater health, happiness, and success. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified so you never miss a video update. Anything that I mentioned in this video, you can find linked in the description box below. Let's get into it. The vagus nerve is the main parasympathetic nerve of the body, and it's also quite long. Today, we're going to focus specifically on the branches of the vagus nerve that go to your ear, which are called the auricular branches. Now, just before we begin, remember to check with your doctor or healthcare provider before doing any new exercises to make sure they're appropriate for you. One interesting thing to assess before we do this practice is to check on your ears and notice if there's more tension on one side or the other, or if your ears are just tight in general. You probably don't think about your ears being tight, but they actually can get kind of stuck. So what we're going to do is just gently reach up and kind of pull your ear away from your skull and just feel how soft or how firm your ear feels. If you can move it much, you can wiggle it up and down a little bit and just see what that feels like. And then compare that with the other side. So pulling this ear away from the skull and just noticing, is one side a little bit tighter, more stiff, or do they feel about the same? Okay. And then we can check that again after we do this vagus nerve massage technique. So the first place that we're going to access your vagus nerve in your ear is in the little hollow that is above the ridge that is just above your ear canal. So go ahead and find the little hollow. So you're going to come towards the ear canal. There's the little ridge above it, and then just gently slide your finger into the hollow that is above that ridge. And what we're going to do is just make gentle circles there. You can also go back and forth if that's a little easier, but we're just gently massaging this little area here. And really you want to think about moving the skin of your ear in little circles. You're not pressing really hard, grinding away on it. You don't actually need much pressure at all. We're just sliding the skin around in circles. And as you're doing this, you may notice some physiological changes, or you might not. So things you may notice might be changes in your breathing, maybe a sigh or a swallow. You might just feel a sense of calm. And if you don't, that's okay too. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So find the little hollow that's above the ridge above your ear canal, and we're just going to make little circles. And again, you may notice those physiological changes, or you may not. You may have a reaction on one side and not the other side. That's quite common. And really, you can spend as much time as you like here. So if this is feeling productive for you, feel free to pause the video and stay with it for a little bit longer. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the second place where we can access the vagus nerve in your ear, and that's at the back of your ear canal. So what you're going to do is find your ear canal, and you're just going to press towards the back side, so towards the back of your head. And again, we're just going to make little circles to massage this area. Remembering that really we're just focusing on the skin more than any of the deeper structures here. There's no need to press really hard or use a lot of force. We're just giving sensory information to your nervous system. So extra force is not actually more productive. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side again. So finding your ear canal, pressing towards the back of your ear canal, and then just making small little circles. And as you're doing this, you might notice that one side is easier to massage than the other. You might find that one side feels stiffer, or they might not, they might feel the same. But just pay attention and notice what you're finding. Again, be gentle with yourself. There's no need to force this. And again, you can stay with that as long as you like. So if that's feeling really productive for you, feel free to pause the video and continue with that. From this place, we can actually just check and see, have our ears changed any? Can they move a little bit more easily? So you can kind of reach up and just check, comparing to what you noticed at the beginning, and see if one side moves a little bit better. So my left side actually feels a little bit looser. Now, the reality is that while these are the primary places in your ear where you can contact and stimulate your vagus nerve manually with massage, there are many branches of the vagus nerve that run through your neck. It is a cranial nerve, and so they are impacted by tension that is in the tissue around your ears. So we can do some additional massage that's not directly targeting the branches of the vagus nerve, but will indirectly help to send sensory information that can help your nervous system to calm. So one of the things we can do is, just like we did with the assessment, we can take your ear, so if you just grasp it gently and just gently stretch it away from your skull. So I'm pulling it out this direction. And again, I'm not being forceful, I'm just giving it a gentle stretch. And this can be quite beneficial if you have any TMJ issues or if you suffer from tension headaches. And then you can also stretch down, so taking that same kind of part of your ear and just pulling kind of gently down and away from your skull, so this direction. And then we can do the same thing kind of up and away. And you can really work your way around your ear, just sort of gently stretching. And this is pulling and creating stretch in the skin all around your ear, which is, again, sending that sensory information through your nervous system that can create a calming response. Okay. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So again, we're just gonna stretch out and away from your skull. So stretching this direction, nice and gentle. If it's uncomfortable or painful, stretch less or don't do it. Pain is counterproductive. And then stretching down and away. And then up and away. And again, working your way around your ear with these gentle stretches. And like with the other massages, you can spend as much time here as you like. So if this is feeling very nourishing and productive for you, you can continue for as long as it feels good. And then we can check again and notice, did that create more changes in your ears? Do they move more easily now? So just kind of, it's the same thing we just did to actually create the stretch, but you can kind of wiggle your ears and say, oh, do they feel more similar? Do they feel looser? Is there more movement available? Does the skin slide more easily? And the final place that we're going to want to massage is just behind the ear. So what we're going to do is take the skin that is just behind the ear, between your ear and your hairline, and just gently slide it up towards the top of your head. So you're basically just stretching the skin behind your ear upwards, and it's just at the skin level. You don't need to press hard, and you're just going to stretch it and then hold. Again, we're sending a nice sensory information data bundle to your brain, saying this can move here, which can in turn cause your brain to say, ah, yes, indeed it can move there. Let's relax all the muscles that are connected to that because they don't need to be so tight. Great, and then we're going to do the same thing in reverse. We're going to take the skin and we're going to pull it down, away from the top of your head towards your neck, or towards your chin, downwards. And holding this stretch. Again, you don't need to press hard, you're just moving your skin. And then you can take that same piece of skin, so we're still on the skin just behind your ear, between your ear and your hairline, and you can stretch it back away from your ear, so you're going towards the back of your head. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, you're going to find the skin that is between the back of your ear and your hairline, and you're going to slide it up towards the top of your head. You might notice that the skin moves more easily in one direction than another. That's good information too. And then now we're going to reverse that. We're going to go down. So you're going to slide the skin towards the floor. And now we're going to take that skin and we're going to stretch it away from the ear. So you stretch it towards the back of your head. You might notice that the skin stretches more easily in one direction than another direction. That's very common. And it's often productive to go in the direction that the skin moves the most easily. So you might spend a little bit more time if your skin slides easily upward, then maybe spend a little more time there. And vice versa if it slides better downward. Okay, go ahead and release that. And again, let's check our ears and see, did that change anything? And you might notice that they feel a little looser. You might also feel some release of tension in your jaw, some release of tightness in your neck. Oftentimes your eyes will feel softer, a little less strain. I notice my breathing is a bit easier through my sinuses. There are many things that you may notice because your vagus nerve is connected to many functions in your throat and also visceral functions in your chest and in your lower abdomen. So there's lots of potential effects that can happen from this, and it's going to be unique to you. So that's a simple way to massage your vagus nerve and calm your autonomic nervous system for practically instant stress and anxiety relief. Be sure and leave me a comment and let me know how this vagus nerve massage technique went for you. And if you like this video, hit like, remember to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified every time I release a new video, and I'll see you in the next one.